Good morning. I'm Bryan, and we are enjoying Sunday at sunrise. Thank you all so much for a wonderful participation. Look outside your window and the sun is actually up. I can see it. I can see it. So indeed, let's take advantage of being motivated, being inspired, and just discussing about financial responsibility. Call me at 1-833-ASK-AFRO if you have a statement, or if you want to ask, you want to ask for prayer, you want to ask for enlightenment, you want to ask for, do you want to just say something? Generally, after I get off the air, I always get a call from someone saying that is exactly what I needed to hear today. So I really hope that that happens again, that indeed God will use me to inspire you financially and inspire you in all aspects of your life. Because what? So many people are unhappy because of things that are connected to their finances. So to me, that's where our relationship with God can add to your financial life. And it takes you from just being rich or just being poor, or just a simple, sad life, to still being able to make a lot of money, or being able to accept where you are and bring you to that happy place that only God can bring you to. So it allowed God to carry us peacefully through this marathon of life. I think that so many people are miserable because they focus on get rich quick. There are people who are running around still dealing with mistakes they made because somebody came up to them and said, if you do this, forget that stuff. Bryan talks about the process. Forget it. You do this, you'll be rich. And they fall for it. They fall for it. The reason that people like me are extremely regulated is because this is very important. So, and we go around running and chasing to find people who will just allow you to skip the process and become miserable, and just say, okay, you handle it, you do it. But no, the word that we're meditating on today is rise up. This matter is in your hands. We will support you, so take courage and do it. Rise up. You got to do it. You got to do it, and I will support you in doing it. But ultimately, you have to take financial responsibility for where you are, for where you want to be, and learn how to, that's what I did, but these are the things that I do now, because I believe the power is in the process. And on Wednesday, I'm going to talk more about this end of the year resolution that I want us to make. Instead of waiting till next year, the things that we need to do now, and realizing the power is in the process. Because everything that's special is hard. I haven't discovered one thing or anything that anybody has really accomplished of any substance or anything that changed the world that did not take them patiently allowing God to bring them through the process, even if they didn't realize it. Anything real, it's going to take time, patience, process, that faith, right? Because what about like when you get punched in the face of life? Then all of a sudden you realize that you made a bad mistake, on something, this huge tax bill, and you feel really overcome with it. Or you go through a divorce and they want to take half or all of everything that you've worked hard for. So when you get to a point and there's no one there but you, and I've been there, I've been punched in the face. I don't know if, I've had or already recovered from my biggest punch. But once you get punched in the face, it's like, boxers, they get punched in the face so much that it's not like it would feel to us that we haven't literally been punched in the face. But when you are a person, a soldier of this world that believes in the power of the process, we go with our head out, our arms up though, right? We know. Now your arms up might be not doing stupid financial things because you remember last time when you didn't plan for your taxation, and the punch in the face that you got. But there'll be times where there is no one else who can help you, and that's when that's all you have is your relationship with God, and bring him into every aspect. Because there's someone out there who's saying, that's stupid. God can't help you with your finances. Hey, that is what it is. But I believe that I have survived since, when I was born, but in business so long, and it's a rarity to have a business that's lasted and sustained and grown since 1995. That I have grown because God has said that he will take all the punches for me. So no matter what the punch is, I realize that I'm going to rise up. The matter is in my hands, and that God will support me so I can be courageous and I can do it. That's what the verse says. Rise up. This matter is in your hands. We will support you. So take courage and do it. So think about what your end vision, what you want to accomplish, what you want your finances to be like, what you want them to look like. Are you there? If you're not, if you want to sustain it, because nothing good can be sustained without knowledge. That's why you look at things and you go, oh my goodness, they had $100 million. Now they're filing bankruptcy, because that's how, it works. If you don't sustain it, if you don't take care of it, if you don't have the courage to keep everything decent and in order, it's just not going to naturally stay that way. The cost of things go up. So you think you could just spend, and then that balance is still going to stay there? No. So I share the Sunday at Sunrise because this is like truly personal to me. And even though I want to talk to you personally, I have the challenge of speaking to everyone about something that I really just want you to get. That is really hard. Like, whenever I go and speak to a group, I realize there may only be one person that gets the message that God is using me to bring. But I gotta still speak to that one person. I cannot try to satisfy all of you because I have a specific message that God is using me to bring to just one person that needs to be courageous today. That we all need to be that, but today somebody is less courageous than another. Today, somebody is trying to blame their situation on their ex-wife or their ex-husband, or they're trying to blame it on, my wife keeps spending money and that's why we're broke. They're trying to blame it on somebody else, but that's not what the word says. It says that you have to rise up, take the matter into your own hands, and that I'll support you in doing it. But you have to first be courageous. So I share my relationship with God through Sunday at Sunrise, merely to just encourage you to feel comfortable saying that it's okay to say that you love God in whatever way. So it's not like a religious discussion. This is a godly discussion, because I want everybody to exercise their religion the way you want to do it. I'm just expressing bringing God, the importance of bringing God into your financial matters. That's why I put that fifth principle, the soul of your money, integrity, the soul of your money, in the book. And I just referred to biblical verses about money. So what does it mean to be financially responsibility? It's seriously just a complex question, because being financially responsible is different to every person. Somebody, each of you, somebody might think that being financially responsible means that they have to have $2 million in their account all the time. Where somebody would say, no, financial responsibility is just making sure that the Wi-Fi stays on. So today, is an opportunity for you to free yourself and think about what is your definition of financial responsibility, right? And know that ultimately you are 100% responsible for everything. No matter how many people I have helping me schedule my things, making calls for me, but this is the business that God gave me, and I am 100% responsible for it, period. So I feel that your personal financial responsibility must include learning how to live within or below your means and knowing that it's okay to do that. That it's okay and that it's important, and that is part of financial responsibility, is living within your means, whatever your means are. You got $100 million, you can have 20 cars. You can have these things, but that's within their means. Knowing that they got to learn, make sure that they keep up everything. They understand everything. Understanding financial responsibility, taking control, being 100% responsible of credit cards, realizing that if you have a balance on credit cards, that means you're not being financially responsible, because the credit cards are supposed to be paid off every month. That automate your investing and saving. That's part of financial responsibility. Having a certain amount that's going into your savings, or going into your investing, or going into a tax-deferred retirement account, that's going in, into a taxable retirement account, that's going in, that you have automated and you have a strategy for it. And that it also includes having a tax strategy, understanding your taxation. You're not deferring your taxes on the retirement account now. Why? Because what? You think that your income will be higher when you retire, so you don't need the tax write-off now? What? You have to have a strategy for everything. Understanding asset allocation is a big part of financial responsibility. Thank you all so much. I'm sorry to say I'm on the road. More and more of you are logging in, and I appreciate it. We're talking about ways of being financially responsible. Now, just because you have this portfolio that's been set up and it has a lot of different investments in it, have you sat down with me to look at what those investments are? Especially if you have things that are held away from the firm, but you're a member of AfroEconomics, understanding your asset allocation is everything to me. That's why I set up the membership, because not a lot of times, before I had the membership, I wasn't meeting anybody until the end of their career. They have this lump sum of money, and I would look at it and I'd go, wow, if I had just met them 10 years ago, if I had just met them 20 years ago, and I've been in business that long. I have people that have been with me 20-something years. So it could have been possible. I feel like I have a responsibility to make sure that everybody understands. It breaks my heart when I meet people and then they say, well, I'm not quite sure. That's their fault. Unfortunately, it is. Because yes, it was a bad advisor. Yes, he didn't explain it, or she didn't explain it. Yes, it didn't. But we got to rise up. What's the word say? Rise up. This matter is in your hands. Have an emergency fund. Have at least 6 months of your expenses available to you without having to incur any tax penalties or withdrawal penalties. Have an emergency fund. Don't worry about keeping up with the Joneses. Big part of financial responsibility. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what everybody else's definition of what you should be doing looks like. You might want your wife to stay at home, and you don't want to have the great big mortgage because you want your wife to be with the kids, or you might want your husband to be able to stay home with the kids. You don't have to worry about keeping up with the Joneses. Yeah, your friend's house or their car's 2 times newer than yours and all of this stuff. Don't worry about that. You decide what your vision for your family is, and take financial responsibility. Ezra chapter 10, verse 4, rise up. This matter is in your hands. Don't worry about the Joneses. Don't keep up with them. Let them do what they do. Wish them much success, but you have to have tunnel vision about what your vision is for you and your family. Budgeting, big part of taking financial responsibility. You know, if you're saying, why we have this credit card balance? I can go to your budget and see exactly why. You use the credit card and you're spending your money. You know, you put something on the credit card, you may have to just go ahead and pay it right then. Just use it for the utilization of it, but go ahead and go that night and go into that account and pay it off. Do you go all in? A big part of financial responsibility to me is that you got to go all in on your financial goals. When I started my business in 1995, I was still am all in. Do you know how many people came to tell me about this business and that business and you could do this and this and that? When I diversified, it was within things that would help my customer. When I wrote a book, it was about my investment structure. When I set up my investment portfolios, I set up investment portfolios for every different risk level. When I do things, it keeps me in my tunnel, right? I'm all in. Are you all in on your financial goals? Or it was when somebody calls you and they say, oh, I need $10,000 because my house is behind. Is that you? No, he who does not take care of his own is worse than an infidel. It is not your responsibility to take care of someone else's lifestyle or household. They do. God said you have to take care of your own household. That's it. Go all in on your goals. Rise up. This matter is in your hands. We will support you, so take courage and do it. If you need me, definitely email me, jb@afroeconomics.com. This was Sunday at sunrise. Members, don't forget the members holiday party. I need you to go online and register. It's absolutely free. You would like to bring a guest, you can bring a guest. The King Day celebration, January 21st in Virginia. The King Day AfroEconomics Equality on King Day, a Monday. It's a brunch. So definitely take the time, rise up, be financially responsible. Yes, you are. Thank you for sharing your morning with me. And remember, 1-833-ASK-AFRO if you have any questions. I hope that this message was a blessing to you. Have a wonderful week. This was Sunday at sunrise.